There are facts that are without question. The earth is round. The sun rises in the east. And this woman is determined. For almost an hour, the ferry operator asked her to get off the boat, but she would not move.
We have to go.
All here bought a ticket for an excursion to a private Bahamian island on the Carnival Cruise Line's app and were later given tickets on the ship. On the day of the excursion, Carnival agents were supposed to take our tickets, ask us to sign a waiver, and give each of us a wristband before boarding the ferry.
Everybody got wristbands. She don't want no wristband.
That's right. This woman had no wristband, and the third-party ferry operator said, no wristband, no go. But the woman insisted she had indeed paid. After more than 30 minutes, the other passengers, all hot and hungry, began to turn on her.
For sure.
Man, come on, man. Get on, man.
Finally, an officer tried to convince her to get off the boat and seek reimbursement from Carnival. She refused. Another officer was called, and she clearly meant business. But the passenger insisted Carnival had proof of payment. She's now threatening a lawsuit against the cruise line. Leslie Silva is a principal at McCall, Sweeney, and Silva.
This a principal? Wow.
When you buy the ticket and you have entered into a contractual agreement with the cruise line, are you, in most cases, signing away your right to a jury trial?
You are, unless it's in an extreme case of a bodily injury, then you are bound to go to arbitration with them.
I pulled up Carnival Cruise Line's 20-page terms and conditions statement. It mentions the word arbitration 19 times. But the question remains, had this woman actually bought a ticket, signed the waiver, and not been given a wristband? I asked Carnival those very questions, and a spokesman replied, it is important to recognize there is more than meets the eye to every story, but given the threat of legal action, we will defer further comment. As for that passenger, she still refused to leave even after the female officer dragged her off the bench.
You want to be like a child and sit on the floor?
No, I want to be like an adult who paid my money.
Finally, after almost an hour, the officers actually picked her up and carried her off the boat.
I would have drug up those stairs.
That's a dignity.
A combative conclusion that certainly was no carnival for any of the parties involved.
That's a lot of cheetah.
No carnival, y'all. No carnival. Now, I found that woman, of course, you know I looked for her. I found her later. She told me that Carnival gave her a refund for the excursion. Carnival neither confirms nor denies that. If you're unhappy about your cruise experience, you should first contact their guest services department. And if you can't get a resolution there, you can contact the Consumer Affairs and Dispute Resolution Services of the Federal Maritime Commission. I have a link in the body of this story on our website, WHEC.com.
Man, do all that. Ma'am, get off. If you have a problem, ma'am, you can handle that off the boat and got a refund. Instead of you sitting on this boat like a 4-year-old and they had to carry your big old tail off this boat. This is ridiculous, man. You should have just got off and just got your money back if you had proof that you paid. Instead of you sitting on this boat doing all this mess and they had to actually carry you off this boat. If I was on there, they were like, well, sir, you can't be on here because you ain't got no wristband. I'm like, well, I paid. Well, you can't be on here. And I'm like, well, shoot, I go get my money back then. I got proof I paid. And I just would have handled it that way. You lost all dignity being drugged off this boat for really no reason, because it really wasn't that big of a deal, because you could get your money back. If you got kids, I know your kids are embarrassed. Having to watch their mama get drugged off this boat. That's how I would expect a teenager to react. But for a full-fledged adult, I would expect them to have some type of resolve. To be like, you know what? Forget it. Yeah, it might be an argument. It might be some words back and forth. But you know what? Let me just go get my money back or whatever. Or even if you want to sue, let me go, I just do a lawsuit then. Y'all kick me off. I paid whatever. And handle it like that. But to sit on here on this boat and where they have to actually drag you off this boat, ma'am, that is ridiculous, ma'am. And you wait entirely too much to be putting this on people's back. That is ridiculous, ma'am. Whoever you are, I know you're a school principal. Whoever you are, ma'am, that is ridiculous. You wait too much for people to have to be picking you up and towing your tail off here, and it's not no medical emergency. Should have put you over top of Seaside, put you in the water. Let you splash over there for a couple minutes. Ridiculous, man. But I think it could have been handled better by both sides. I think that the carnival should have had something to check to see if she did pay. She said she paid, but she didn't get a wristband. I think they should have had something to see, to see if she paid, or whatever. But I don't know, man. This ridiculous. She should have never got to the point to where they had to drag her off. So I don't know what she thought that was going to do. I don't know if she thought that they probably wouldn't drag off. Maybe they just would go with her on this boat. But I don't know, man. What you think about that, man?
First of all, I don't even think she paid to get on there. I'm just gonna keep it real, man. I don't
She's
think
talking about she
paid.
got her money back. She said she.
You think somebody like that gonna tell the truth? Acting like that, do you think they're gonna tell the truth? What about her says truth?
She said she got. So you said she got on. She climbed on that boat.
Cap. How you the only one out of all these? It looked like it was hundreds of people, and you the only one that don't have a wristband out of hundreds of people that was on that boat.
She climbed. So you said she climbed on this boat, knowing good and well that she didn't pay for it.
Set her in down there with all that cheetah print. I don't even know where you get that much cheetah print from.
That's a lot.
And you sat there and you had your little cool cup.
That's a lot of dress.
And you thought they wasn't gonna check these wristbands. And they start going around checking these wristbands. And you're the only one out of hundreds of people on this boat that don't have a wristband. I call cap.
And I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. You can't black people ain't got a lot of patience.
You don't. Actually, we ain't paid our hard-earned money. When you go on these ships, people gotta pay. They making payments, they saving, they putting back.
I seen the white people in the back. They was irritated, but they didn't really say much.
We was the one talking.
They gonna stand up. They gonna come in your face, ma'am. Get off.
Get off. Facts. So, and then not only that, I'll do you one better. Her son and her mom was on that boat with her.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Her son was crying about the whole situation while she was just sitting there acting a nut. He's sitting there crying, embarrassed.
How
upset.
old is he?
He couldn't be no more than 12. If that.
God, she did all that in front of her child.
And then
so they didn't pay either. Were they put off?
She was the only one.
Oh, so she tried to sneak on with her family. So now that we have a little bit more to go on, I didn't know that.
She was the only one without a wristband. They didn't say her son or her mother was without wristbands. They said her.
So she didn't pay.
She
thought she was gonna slip on there with her mama and son.
and sat down like she owned the joint and got busted.
And I didn't see her mama taking up for her. Like, yeah, my baby paid. Her mama knows she didn't pay either. Her
No,
mama,
she ain't pay. She probably told her to pay, and she, nah, my mom.
Mama, you wrong. Because you should have told her
Facts.
to get off that boat. Because you know she didn't pay them people for
She
that
probably
ride.
can't tell that girl nothing. That girl lawless. That girl is lawless. You acting this fool. You not even on U.S. soil. You acting like this. them jails and prisons overseas is different.
Boy, they had you in jail, man, with your feet in the water. Boy, you don't want to go in jail, boy.
No.
And no Caribbean island.
Hey. And then on top of that, man, these are the type of people that's influencing y'all children.
She a principal.
A principal.
You can only imagine how she would act with a
my
child
gosh.
or a parent.
Oh my gosh. I can only imagine, boy. She especially don't get her way. You talking about cutting up? She gonna flat out cut up.
Boy, she look like she mean in a rattlesnake, boy.
Like she'll fight, like she'll tear a room up.
Boy.
Now I'm interested to see how she's gonna explain this to the school board once the school board get a whiff of this.
Well, you said she lied because she said she got her money back. So I don't. John says cap, but that's what she said.
And again, hundreds of people on this, whatever they was on little boat, and only one person without a wristband. And for one, then on top of this, you're a principal, so you don't have no type of resolution skills.
I guess you don't when you're in the wrong. I guess just like
Exactly.
ride this out.
So I mean,
gonna let me go.
And then you're embarrassing your child and your mother acting like this. Boy, I know she a handful to deal with, boy.
Boy, I pray for that child. Mama, you did a bad job.
Awful job. Ain't one no meals around. I can tell that because the way she acting there.
You raised a liar and a thief.
Boy.
Because she lied herself on there and she tried to steal a ride.
Yeah. And then when she caught, instead of, okay, y'all called me, let me go ahead and get off. Nope.
They had to carry her tail off.
I'm sorry. I know this is harsh and mean. If I want them carry, when we got to them steps, I'd be like, oops.
Cheetah everywhere on the ferry.
She had all kind of bumps on the back of her head. Especially you got making me come down here and carry you up these stairs.
Shout out to the sister. The sister came down there, but she been
business. Like, look, we been too long.
Like, she been out there. She like, ma'am, I got stuff to do. I'm finna get ready to get off when I come back. Like, I'm finna take y'all to this island. When I come back, I'm off. And we've been out here for hours dealing with you about this.
I'm sick of you. Ain't gonna wear these tight uniform pants.
Bottom boots tight, boy. She need to up her size. She need to up it. She need to up her size because she can't even put a belt on with that. She need to up her size. She got to do that, ma'am. Ferry.
Why was you so mad? They look like they itch too.
Ferry captain. I don't know if you borrowed them from somebody or what, or if you lied to them people about your size. Because you know people do that.
As you know, them cruise ship buffets.
I normally wear a medium. Do you sure they medium? Yeah, ma'am, the medium.
Medium. You need about a 2X.
Ma'am, you like you need a 2X, ma'am. I ain't no 2X. Give me a medium. Like she don't shove herself all in this medium. And she walked down there, boy, and then and them pants were not moving.
Like they were painted on.
Or she didn't have it was no oxygen in those pants. When she picked that lady up, boy, them pants was so stiff as a board. I said, I said, boy, she finna get you about this. She finna get you about this furry. She look like, boy, this ain't in my job description. Y'all said all I had to do was stand over here in the corner and that's it, and greet people. Y'all didn't say nothing about having to pick nobody up off no boat.
Well, and then her, out of all people.
Boy, she picked up with no problem. It wasn't no struggle. They picked that lady up and got her up off that boat.
They went straight power clean on that.
She picked that lady up and she had the heavy side. She had top side.
Ooh.
Picked that lady up. She got some heavy wings. You know, this is wings. People with this can cook greens
and macaroni and cheese.
Oh, son. But she picked that lady up, boy. Oh. And this lady sitting here. I don't know how you can frown all the way through this.
But she did.
She frowned all the way through being carried off this boat. And somebody with any common sense would be like, man, just put me down.
Yeah. Let me have some dignity and walk.
Let me have some dignity and walk myself about this boat. Instead of being filmed, you carrying me off of this boat. You now lost all dignity.
You're on films now.
You look like a complete fool. Even if you was in the right, you look like a complete fool of having to be carried off a boat.
Facts. Just, yeah. And you robbed the other people of their experience. They paid their hard-earned money. They was waiting for 30 minutes while you doing this foolishness.
Time cut short. They getting off the boat onto this ferry so they can ride over to the island, get off, have fun at the island, and of course, come back.
What is
the whole cruise thing is on a time thing, so you just can't just be out there just wasting hours arguing with you on this thing.
Yeah,
hopefully they kick you off the whole cruise.
They probably put on a ban list. Like do they have like a no cruise ban list or something like that?
Hopefully they kick you off. You fly back home. Like, man, you can't ride this back home, man.
Yeah, you ain't put on no cruise list. You acting like this.
People like that. I don't be getting people like that. People act up like that at the airports. I'm like, man, don't get on the plane acting me like that. Cause I'm gonna tell you something. Cause I'm already scared of flying.
Yeah.
So I don't want, when I'm flying, I don't want nobody moving. I don't like all that. If you're on my roll, be still.
Facts.
Cause I'm gonna tell you. And I'm sitting on the end of the row. Cause I'm tall, I'm 6'4", and I don't want all that. My knees all in the back of the thing. I'm sitting like this already.
Yeah.
I'm big as heck. I don't need all that.
Chill out.
Everybody be still.
Chill out.
People be on there want to argue about stuff like, man, bro, we thousands of feet in the air, cuz. Wait till we get on the ground. And then you can say what you want to say. Let's get on the ground first. We don't want to worry the captain about nothing. But
flying, he need to be locked in.
We don't want her to have to go tell the captain nothing about what's going on back here or whatever.
It's captain cool and copacetic.
Just fly. I got it back here, captain. Yeah. You just fly.
Fly. We gonna hold it down back here.
Boy, I'll tell somebody shut up in a minute. Hey, dog.
Especially we 30,000 feet now. You sit your end down.
Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it, man. I'll get on your neck in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna do it.
I drag you to that back there and serve you up, and then you go sit your end down somewhere.
Not gonna do it, man. Man, me and my wife was flying, man. We was flying out of town to a friend's wedding. We had missed our flights and stuff. It was hectic. And we had finally got on the flight that was gonna take us to, we had to fly into Detroit. And we got on the plane. My wife got on before me. And it was a guy, I guess, trying to give her some problems or whatever. But she was saving me a seat. And he had brought his own drinks on the plane.
Oh, Lord.
So I guess he didn't know that she was with me. And then he kind of figured as I'm walking down the aisle. As I say, you know, I'm a big guy. So I'm walking down the aisle. And so he kind of sat back a little bit. And I know, I'm like, man, we got a problem? He's like, oh, no, man. We cool. I was like, man, don't say nothing to my wife.
Turn the joint up before we get up in there.
We won't be flying today. And whatever. And so he had drinks. And so I was like, man, he was already tripping because he was drinking. I was like, man, you don't need to be drinking that. And he's like, oh, man, I brought this on here. I dimed him out. Stewardess got that before we took off. Kicked him up off the plane. Not gonna have it. You ain't finna get drunk and we finna get up here? You already tripping. You tripping already. And you drinking this brown liquor like this? I don't want none of that. We gotta make an emergency landing. We gotta do.
Oh no! If we already up here, we're gonna get what we need to get. Cause I ain't trying to go do all that again.
Calvin, fly.
We got this.
I don't want him to have to put nothing in no autopilot. He got to come back there and trying to see what's going on. Just fly. You do your job. We'll regulate this back here.
Yeah, as long as I'm on here, we ain't doing all that cutting up.
Sorry, guys. That's how I fly. I don't do that.
Nah, I'm like you, man. I hate flying. I only fly when absolutely necessary.
I have to be going far.
If I can't drive it,
I can't drive there.
Yeah. So that's the only time I absolutely fly, or unless it's just like a dire something dire.
Yeah,
other than that,
I gotta be there quick. But if it's over 10 hours, I'm probably gonna fly.
Yeah.
But if it's 10 hours under, I'm probably gonna try to drive it.
Yeah. So I'm just not going.
But I have driven far though. Don't get me wrong. Like from Houston, I drove to Houston to Tennessee. That was about 14 hours. So I drove that 14, 15 hours. I also drove from Dallas to Louisville, Kentucky. I think that was like 17 hours. 17, 18 hours. Sheesh. It was like a whole day. So I will drive, but I have a family now. I got kids and stuff, so I can't be out, doing that. My kids, yeah. So now I will fly if I have to fly, but no. When I get up there, man, I'm just not a good flyer, and I just don't have the patience and stuff like that. I just don't do well.
And I just don't get it, man. What is so grand about flying, man? I
It's
just don't get
nothing
it.
but getting there fast.
It's nothing cool about it to me, man.
I mean, it's the only thing about it's the only benefit to flying is you get there faster.
It's like, yeah, it's just one thing I really just can't get used to. Like
You
I said,
know.
I only do it if I have to, and when I do it, I don't like it. It's out of absolute necessity.
I mean, yeah, my first time flying from here, I flew I flew from here to Tampa. Was it to Tampa? Flew from here to Tampa. And so, what would have took me maybe, 10 hours to drive,
10 to 12 hours, yeah.
to drive, I got there in 3 hours, something like that. So yeah, that's the benefit. You get there quicker.
Yeah. Cause my first time flying, I flew to Pittsburgh. 2 hours. And Pittsburgh, I think it's like 17 hours if you drive. So yeah, it's
When you get there quicker. My first time I flew by myself. My wife had flew ahead of me. I had got out of school and then I went and hopped on the plane, but she had already left earlier that day. And when I got on, we had turbulence. And I didn't take that well. It had calmed me down.
yeah, that turbulence is especially takeoff turbulence, boys.
We experiencing some turbulence. Turbulence. I'm like, wait a minute.
I ain't pay for that.
Everybody buckle up. They said, sir, it's gonna be okay. Everybody. I said, Lord, it's my first time flying. Don't you let me go out like this. The first time I get on a freaking plane.
We got turbulence.
Boy, them people were laughing. Boy, I was dead serious. Boy, I was serious. Boy, I was so ready to get off that plane. When that plane landed, boy, I had all my stuff in my bag, like my hand like this. Boy, I told my wife, come pick me up now. Jeez.
Wait, stop everything.
She said, where you at? What terminal? You I don't know. Come get me. Shoot, boy. I did not like that. That was my first time flying. I didn't like that.
I didn't like that either. But I was a wreck my first time flying.
And then I have real bad ear problems.
And my ears was popping and stopped up.
I already have tubes in my ear. So I have really bad ear problems. So it just was not pleasant. It just wasn't pleasant for me. I had to come back and see my ENT and everything. I just I don't need to be. I just can't do it. This is not pleasant.
Yeah, I ain't get my hearing back until I got back to Texas.
Right, boy. I flew there on United and flew back on American Airline or whatever, but I don't see how I can't do Spirit.
A Frontier. No, if I'm gonna fly, I'm a little bougie with my flying. I can't do them. It's too risky for me because Spirit and Frontier, man, they got boats missing off their seats, man. Half of the people don't want to show up to work. No, I don't need all that. We too high for all that.
I don't want no twerking on the plane. I don't love it. I'm telling you. I'm gonna tell you. If you get on there cutting up, I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah, Spirit and Frontier, man, they got pit bulls fights in the back. And
get a straight soul plane experience.
They got roosters fighting in the cockpit. No, I don't need all that, man. Just get me to my destination safely.
I was like, man, I don't need this. I don't need to do this. I don't need no more added pressure.
Absolutely.
This is my seat. Oh gosh, choose one.
Don't this one look like this one?
Ooh,
This one
remember
look like
this.
this one. Then just sit down.
I'm gonna raise my blood pressure before I even get up here. He did, boy. Y'all just imagine, boy. I went through. Me and my wife went through it, boy. We had missed that flight, guys. I had caught so many planes and went through so many cities. It wasn't even funny no more. It was not funny. I had supposed to been in Detroit. What time was supposed to get in Detroit? We supposed to be at the same time. What time you got there?
Man, I got that at 10 o'clock, 10 a.m.
He got there at 10 a.m. I didn't get there to 12 midnight to the next day. It was the next day. And then I still had an hour drive to get to where we were supposed to be.
We supposed to drive to Ohio.
So we landed. Of course, you got to go pick up your bags. And then you got to try to catch a shuttle so you can go pick up your rental car.
Mm-hmm.
Do all that. Then you got to drive an hour to where you need to be. Man, we didn't get to the hotel, man. Almost 2 something, man. And they popped back up talking about, yeah, we having brunch. I was like, oh my gosh.
Mind you, they were just partying like a few hours ago.
Brunch. And then after brunch, we had literally like maybe 40 minutes to go get our stuff so we can go meet back up at the venue for the wedding. We had the venue all day, hanging out, taking pictures. We get dressed for the wedding, have the wedding. Immediately after the wedding, we take pictures, have the reception. After reception, go to the hotel. It's like 12 at night. Our flight is like at 5 in the morning. And we got to drive an hour to the airport. So I had no sleep on this journey. It was crazy. I didn't miss that flight no more. I'll tell you that.
I bet you didn't. I bet you wouldn't.
That flight left at 6. Man, that flight left at 6. Boy, we was there at 3. We was there at 3 o'clock. We was there 3 hours early.
That's how it was.
We got through baggage claim and security check. We got through all that, man. It was 4:45. We sat there for 2 hours. I was sleeping in the airport. I was like, boy, I ain't never missing this no more.
No. Going through TSA, boy, they ain't for the week.
Boy, we got there, boy. I left from Dallas, went to Nashville, St. Louis, Chicago. I went everywhere, man. Boy. Never again, man. I'll sacrifice and just get there early, man. Do that, man. Sacrifice, get there early. Unless you prepay, they got a line where you can kind of skip.
The pre-trip, pre-TSA, pre-clearance, yeah.
Unless you do that, get there early, man. I didn't even know about that. But like, yeah, me and my wife were like, yeah, next time we probably gonna do that. Yeah, we're gonna spend a little extra bucks and so we can just go and get on through. If not, man, get there early because you never know how long the line gonna be. Sometimes the line is moving pretty good. Other times it ain't moving good. And what kills you, man, is not only the TSA line, but if you got to check in the bag, that line kills you too. So you waiting in too long line. That's what happened to us. We waited in too long lines because we had to check in the bag. And then by the time we got through that line, went over to the TSA line, and that line was long. I should have followed my first mind and paid somebody to help me skip.
Hey.
I said, man, I should give this man $50 and let me skip right here at the front of this line. And then I would have made my freaking flight. But
y'all barely missed it.
We barely missed it. When we got there, they hadn't even taken off yet. They were just out there like we.
Yeah, I
barely
was trying my best. I was like, I got they coming, but no, man, that's
So,
tough, man.
I had all my wife's bags. I was like, just run. We running. I'm still beating her running. But man, it's all good, man. We appreciate y'all rocking with us, man. Remember, man, follow us on all social media platforms, man. Follow us, man. Continue to rock with us. We're gonna continue to put out this content for you guys, man. Remember, hit that like, share, subscribe button. It don't cost you nothing, man. We appreciate it, man. That's how you can support us, man. By hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button, man. And stay tuned, man. But until next time, peace out.